Welcome to the Unicorn. We're talking about all things independent comics, specifically the greatest super comic book in the universe. Robert Kirkman's Invincible. I'm Mikey.
I'm Christian.
I'm Demoan.
I'm Matt.
And today, people are back at it again with episode 30 of Invincible. Episode 30.
Wow.
Woo! Okay.
Do we want to acknowledge the fact that Matt's recording in a paper bag?
Yeah, word.
Yeah. All right. Now that we acknowledge that, yeah, Matt got abducted like 2 days ago, but him being one of the best members, he's like, nah, not a good excuse. I'm still gonna record with the board.
But his kidnappers are letting him do the podcast just this one, so we might not see him next episode.
Yes.
He's doing it with a blade to his screen.
Crap, he got muted. The kidnapper started us. Anyway, we probably have to start. Yeah,
he kept talking too much. Yeah, but we're doing episode 30, so yeah, another milestone, people. So yay us. So that means we only have sadly only 2 more episodes left until we're of main story of stuff until we're done. So yeah. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about volume 23, which is titled Full House, a sitcom that everyone has seen. I hope.
I have.
I have not seen a single episode.
You're lying. Really?
I haven't seen.
He doesn't watch TV.
I've even watched the sequel series.
Fuller House.
Yes.
Fuller House, Matt. Come on.
I create house, full or otherwise.
Full or average full.
All right, fine. And that's gonna cover issues 127 to 132. So we're almost there. And I'm excited. I hope y'all are excited. And yeah, so we'll get right to it. So yeah,
what's the last issue again? 144.
144. Yeah, a weird number to end, but like it is what it is.
It's a multiple of 12.
It's a multiple
of 12.
That is a fact. A quick math fact from Demoan.
So then so we'll just get right to it. So now we're just gonna start with. Oh, also real quick before you say anything, next episode we don't find us with a budget. Our budget's been cut. So.
Oh, because the free trial for this has ended. Yeah.
Our budget is up. Our budget is until the 16th, and then after that, they're cutting our funding.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll just get right to it. So issue 127, and cool cover. First start off, cool cover.
Who the fuck are half of these people?
I mean, they're not really important, but like it's just. I just think it's interesting. It's just like the highlight that Mark's kind of out of place and it has to adjust with stuff, because he's in the background while like Eve and all the other aliens in the foreground like talking to each other and socializing. And he's just
now.
Yeah, good for making friends.
Exactly. So we're gonna see what's happening at the bottom because remember
I was about to say
it says he risked it all to get his life back, but that life has moved on without him. Bummer.
Shouldn't have been a deadbeat dad.
He's not a crappy dad. No.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see. So it transitions where it left off with issue 126. And if you remember, Mark came back home after, being in the reboot event, going back in time and reliving all of his lives and choosing not to save all the people that, has been murdered throughout his superhero career. And it just starts off with him, finding out that Terra's now old.
No, about 5 years old now.
Yeah, she's like around 5. Right? Yeah, 5 is a good number. 5, 6.
5, 6. Yeah.
They say he's been gone for about 5 years, so she should be just a tad over 5.
Yeah, so he's just kind of in shock that he literally he's on the ground, just like in his knees, just like I wish I said, I promised you that I was gonna be there. I promised you that I would spend every day with you and teach you things. And then Terra does the sweetest thing I've ever seen, and it's just like she's like, well, Eve and him are just crying. She's like, Daddy, and she's like, I'm so sorry, but she's like, it's okay, I still love you, and they embrace a nice little hug, and it's just so sweet. It's so sweet.
It's very cute.
Terra
looks adorable as a child. And I don't think she's not that enough last podcast, but she's like an adorable child.
Can we acknowledge the art difference though?
Oh yeah, of course. It's really me. The artist change. Our boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Corey Walker is drawing this entire arc, obviously with his new with his newly updated style as we always see him progress. So
that explains the big ass foreheads.
Yes. Some things don't really change. Some things don't really die hard.
Yep.
But yeah, Corey Walker's drawing the rest of this arc. I forgot to mention that, so thanks, Christian.
Do you know if the colorist the same or not?
I think it's different as well. I think it's Russ Wooten is the colorist here. If any of y'all want to go back and just remind me, like if the colors just changed, just shout it out. But I believe it's different, but who knows? I could be wrong. But yeah. So now after they share that hug, and then Mark and Eve, they just share like a nice little moment together, and they have a nice little family hug, and it's very sweet. It's very emotional. And so it transitions back a little later. They put Terra to bed, and I like how like Eve's giving her like Mark a little bit like these little tidbits like it's usually not that hard for her to go to bed, but like who could blame her? It's like, yeah, it makes sense. And and he basically explains what happened in the last arc about him going back in time and what he's experienced with Eve. And then he's just like, yeah, like so like what happened? Like what did you really like when you were sent to the past, like what happened? And then he realized the one thing is just like, I learned I'm not a hero. And like, what? Like, yeah, like I got the chance to save all the lives that were lost. Like, the Flaxen battle, like the Viltrumite War, the Invincible War, stuff with dinosaurs, all that stuff. And I instead just decided to come back here because I knew that Terra wasn't going to exist if this timeline continued. And then Eve's just like, you can't really blame yourself, man. Like, it's not like, I mean, yeah, you could have saved all those lives, but you can't blame yourself from coming back home. And he's like, yeah, I know, but it's just like, I've missed so much. Like, I don't even know where to start. And she just starts crying, and Eve's just comforting her. And they share like this really cool like moment, but like she opens her eyes, like there's something that she's not telling him, and which will be revealed later on. So transitions the next day. Terra's going to school with her nice little like backpack. It's so cute. It's so cute. And you can see that like Eve is saying hi to everyone, and she's socializing on the way there, and Mark is kind of like out of place, which is, I like the fact that like the roles are twisted now or reversed. Eve's a more comfortable one, while Mark is the more one who's out of place and out of touch with everything. I think it's a very good change in the status quo. They're dropping off Terra, and Terra's going to school, and we see her teacher like being like, hey, like your friend Polly is waiting for you inside. And her name's Miss Luca, and Eve introduces her to Mark, and yeah, that's basically that happens in that conversation. So then it transitions back to our boy, Alan, the alien, the man who fucks, and being reunited with Mark, and they share a nice little hug, and it's very cool. He really missed it because again, it's been 5 years. And so he basically is just like, listen, like, I don't know if you read my report, but like all the destruction like that I saw like after I came back, like what were the things? Like I said, it's not good. Like there was only one confrontation with Thragg at this point, but it was pretty devastating, and they lost a lot of people. They lost a good amount of people, and he's kind of worried about what's going on. But then Mark asks, "Wait, how is Oliver? Is he okay?" And he's like, yeah, Oliver's doing fine. Like, he's back on active duty, but like, he didn't come back from that attack unscathed though, but he's doing well. And so here's the thing that like, Alan's is like, listen, Mark, like things are being bad, like out here in these streets, out here in this galaxy and whatnot. Thragg is pretty much, he's one of the biggest risks that we have. And I know you just came back. But like, is it cool if you can like, go back into the field? Because we could really use you, bro. And he's just like, nah, never coming back.
Understandable.
Which is, again, it's an understandable thing. Another understandable choice. And he's just like, listen. Yeah, but he's like, listen, like, I know it's difficult. Like, I know, like, you're trying to adjust to things. I know you just got back after, being back in time for a little while. But like, you're like our biggest asset that we have. Like, we have Oliver, bro. Like, 2 Viltrumites are better than 1, And he's just like, listen, like, I've been gone for 5 years. Like, like you've been fighting Thragg for that long. Like, you don't need my help here. Y'all really don't need me. And then Eve mentions that like, yeah, we kind of talked about this before. We talked about this before we got here. we're kind of gonna like be taking some time off world for a little while. And she mentions the planet called Kolthak or whatever. I think that's what it's called, Kolthak. And then he's like, okay, listen, like that'll be nice. Like I shouldn't have brought it up. It's too soon. He's like, just take all the time you need. And he's like, listen, man, like sorry if I snap. It's all good. And so it transitions to this party, the next the following night, and we see like Alan, Talia, Hallelujah, and her new children, her two
twins.
What
oddly reddish twins.
These are quarter Viltrumites.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're her quarter Viltrumite twins.
Quarter Viltrumite and 3/4 bug?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, 3/4 bug, yeah.
And whatever Hallelujah is. I don't know what she is, so.
Well, I
probably
assume she's bug.
It's like
crustacean, right?
Yeah.
She's like crustacean. Yeah.
A quarter Viltrumite, a quarter blue bug, and then 50% crustacean.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, 50% lobster. Yeah, got it.
50% sea.
I don't know. She looks more like a shrimp to me.
Enough with the fucking.
Okay.
It's a thing.
But while everyone else is socializing, Mark is outside, just taking it all in because he's out of touch right now. He's out of place. And then this man shows up, and he's just
very not straight looking man whatsoever.
I mean, listen, it's an alien world. We don't know how people swing it. We don't know how the customs are.
Mikey, that mustache screams, please put a penis inside my butt. But continue.
But yeah, so this man shows up, and it's revealed that it's our boy Oliver, like even more grown up now. He's practically a grown ass man.
My goodness.
Probably older than Mark, I think. Maybe, who knows? But yeah, and he's just like talking to Mark, being like, "Hey, like, is everything okay?" He's like, "Oh yeah, like, even Hallelujah seem to be like, getting like they've been really close, like ever since like I've been gone." It's like, yeah, like he's like, yeah, they've been really great. But, like, how are you doing though? And he's like, I'm fine, but like obviously he can't keep a straight face. He just bursts into tears, and he's just like, "Listen, man, like Oliver's like being the big brother that he is now. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I know it's been a lot for you." And he's like, "Listen, like," and Mark's saying, like, "It's just really hard for me because like every like everything I do, like every moment, like I feel like like it just I'm just reminded of the horrible thing that happened to me and all that stuff."
Matt's
dead.
Oh, and then kidnappers finally killed him.
Yeah, and he's just like, I've missed so much. Yeah, I guess Matt's not coming back in this episode. Shit. And he's listening, like, he's like, "I'm okay." And he's like, "Listen, like, Oliver's trying to comfort him. He's like, like, I know you've been through a lot. It's been 5 years, but like, and you came back, and like, you're still a giant pussy." And then he's just like, "Okay, I guess I didn't miss a lot because Oliver's still an asshole."
Mm-hmm.
Which I love. It's
of course.
Yeah. I think it's touching. I think it's they're still gonna act like brothers no matter how many years have passed. But also, wait, what are your thoughts on the new look for Oliver? I love that Oliver looks like a younger version of Nolan, and I love that.
Dude, he looks like that blonde guy from Archer, but jacked. Let me try to find his name. Archer characters.
Don't
you think?
No, I mean,
what do you mean? Yeah, he looks like Ray.
Looks like Ray from Archer. No, he just
yes, he does. It's just a dark-haired version of him. We'll debate this later.
We'll debate it later.
Yeah,
but I like the new look. He looks like a young Nolan, and I love that.
He's jacked.
He's ripped.
He's 80% bicep. It's crazy.
Well, both of them are. Both of them are pretty big, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think though Oliver's bigger.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, Oliver is technically he seems to be a grown man at this point. He seems to be
like I think he's older than I think he's older than Mark.
I think you might be right.
Well, because like he's probably physically as old as Mark, but like he ages like a bug person. So
he's aging. His aging slowed down, so like he doesn't.
Well, no, but he still ages faster than Mark because he's half bug.
Okay, yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I just think it's a cool look. But anyway, transitions back to their Terra, Mark, and Eve, and they're preparing for their trip. And I love that her teacher, Miss Luca, comes to Terra and is like, "Hey, like, I don't like the fact that you're not gonna be learning while you're there, so I got you this really cool education bot." And then it's a nice little gift. a going away gift. And, and she just like embraces him, like I love it. And she names him Eddie. And it's so cute. But so then it's so she has a new education unit as a best friend now. And so while they're leaving, and it's just like, listen, like I know, like we're going. She's like we're going on a secluded planet, and I think it's like it's a good option for us right now, and like it's like you, me, and Terra. That's it. And then she's like, I know, like to make up for lost time, we need that time together. And he's like, yeah, like I know, I know, like thanks for cheering me up, boss. And I love all this nice little moment. They're just like, can you ever get like I'll never get used to this. The fact that like like we're traveling in a spaceship in space, like it's so cute. And Terra's like, we're in space, booyah! Like it's so cute. But so after that, Mark is waking up alone in bed, and he's wondering where Eve is, and she's sleeping in another I think like on a bench, something like that.
She's sleeping on like a bench in like the hallway. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like I understand why she does it, but like I feel like she could have chose a better spot,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So we'll find out what like her offness is in like the next section in this issue or the next issue, I don't remember. But so then we get this really cool sequence of pages of them just chilling together, and Mark's just like he's with his two girls, like it's just really sweet, and he's just smiling and he starts crying, and it's a really nice moment. So they transition to Eve's new they're on this new secluded planet, and turns out like like Mark's like, this is a really cool place, and it's revealed that Eve built it, and it's a really nice like cool
just like she did on Earth in Africa.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
Matt's back.
Yeah, Matt's back.
Woo.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll get his ass in. So you survived,
Matthew.
Hi, y'all. I'm
When'd
here.
you get facial hair?
I've been experimenting with this.
Cool.
Gotcha.
Cool.
I'm happy that the Russian gangsters have now freed you.
Yeah, I managed to escape. Yeah.
So that's why you left. Okay.
Yeah. I saw my opening. I had to take it.
Exactly. But yeah, so she made it herself, and like Alan recommended the planet, and it was a quiet place for just to get away from everything. And while Terra's picking flowers with Eddie, that's so cute. I can't. Mark tries to go in for a kiss, like they think it's perfect, and Eve immediately backs up, and it's just like Eve, like what's wrong? Like he's like like Mark, it's been 5 years. And he's just like, yeah, like you think I don't know that? Like I'm trying to like make up for lost time here, girl. Like what you mean? And she's just like, yeah, like a long time. A lot happened while you were gone. It's like, yeah, okay, I get it. Like it's been a couple weeks. Like everything's been hard for me and for you. And I'm just recognizing how it's affecting you. Like I'm sorry. And we get this reveal that's like, no, that's not it. And then we see this next page. She says that there was someone else.
Oh my god.
And that's we'll get rid of this issue for now. And so transitions back to Telestria at a late night. Oliver is talking to Hallelujah. I'm assuming that they're married at this point. I'm gonna say that they're married.
Yeah,
talking to his wife Hallelujah for a second, and just greeting her, saying like how like, and I love how she said like she commented, you make very weird looking babies, but they're very well behaved children, and I love them. And just making sure that like you like if you're coming to bed, he's like, yeah, I'll be there in a second. And so he goes to his office on his computer, and then he basically like looks like all quiet on this front, like he's talking to someone, and like just checking in just as scheduled. And and he just says, he reveals like to this mysterious person that they're vacationing off world, aka like Mark, Eve, and Terra, and that they won't be a problem, they won't get involved. And it's revealed the person that he's talking to is Thragg.
Oh my god!
And
I knew it.
So
he was an asshole this entire time.
So ending issue 127. And also I want to take this moment to give Christian his flowers. I knew this was gonna happen since we started the series, and then ever since he said he's a menace, I'm just like, I can't. It's gonna suck when he's right. So Yeah. So thoughts on 127 people?
It just feels so good to be right.
I really like this issue because I like seeing Thragg, especially in his Battle Beast attire.
The Battle Beast garb.
Yeah.
I fucking love the pelt he has. And then he has his hot bug wife.
All right. Hold on. Mikey's the one who's sexually attracted to the bugs. First of all, Demoan, don't switch up on me.
Listen. I guess all the brothers just liking all these bug women, man.
Ah! Justify it, Mikey. Yeah. Okay. So back to the bug women, Demoan.
I don't know. He likes his bug woman blue.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
I liked this issue because I knew when I read it that Christian was gonna shit his pants.
He's gonna literally just be like, "Oh yes, oh so right."
So I guess it's my turn to talk about this issue.
Yeah,
I guess we have to, Christian. I guess we have to.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2 years in the making for this one singular moment. I'm not saying that my dick is the biggest out of everyone here for predicting this. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But that would be a fair conclusion on how well I predicted this. Thank you. I'll be accepting my Nobel Prize via email or carrier pigeon.
Yeah. All right. Well, yep. But to say my thoughts, I liked it a lot. I love how, again, the roles are flipped now with Mark and Eve. Mark is now the unsettled one, while the uncomfortable one. Now Eve is a more adjusted. Even not just in like the Telestria, but just I think like the situation with, you know, I'm not saying that they're similar, but just like the feeling is kind of similar. How Mark was hiding the whole thing about, you know, his sexual assault by Nissa from Eve. And now it's kind of flipped now where like now Eve has a secret to tell him. And I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
That moved on for a bit. So yeah, I like it a lot. And also every moment with Terra I think is that's like the highlight of this arc. Every moment with Terra is just great and adorable and I love it.
It's because Terra's the best character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like this ending was a nice little twist that I liked. So yeah, so that's all I gotta say about it. I really liked it a lot. But all right, so we will be doing who's doing the next one?
Issue. Yeah.
All right, issue in 28.
Yeah, we're talking about Invincible issue 128. This cover is awesome.
Dude, this is my favorite cover of this whole arc.
Alan looking like a goddamn Chad.
Alan looking like the best character in the book because he is and always has been.
That is
listen. Okay, who do you think is the best character in the book then, Alan or Terra?
Alan. I mean, listen, I love Terra, but it's Alan.
Yeah. Can Alan bench? I mean, can Terra bench press a planet?
I mean,
not yet.
We don't know. We'll see. Maybe.
Yeah.
Listen, she's a Viltrumite. She'll get there eventually, probably, maybe.
You're right.
So this issue opens up with.
Wait, man. You gotta read the bottom of that cover, my G. What, come on now, don't break the streak.
I'm sorry.
What the bottom of the? We gotta talk about the bottom of the
you
cover.
You guys up for another issue where something horrible happens to Alan?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay,
all right,
so
you got him, Matt.
Okay. Oh, this issue opens up on the Frog Planet with the Frog People. And there's some frog people here talking about the whole Thragg situation and how Alan's trying to do his, Alan's doing his best, but it's a bit of a kerfuffle, one might say. All of a sudden, there's an explosion, and there's a lady Oliver here. It's Thragg and his Olivers, and they're coming to attack this next planet and get the attention of the Coalition, right?
The Coalition,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
So. That's a fantastic little opening before we cut back to Mark and Eve. And he's telling Mark about Kubian. Kubian was her little
lover?
Not her lover, was like her boyfriend.
Her boyfriend, okay. Yes. And because Mark was gone for 5 years. And she had basically, tried to move on. And totally cool with it. Mark's totally understanding, and he tells her that he loves her no matter what, and it's a really touching little scene.
I mean, you can't be mad at that. Like, it's a very justifiable reason. Like,
of course.
Yeah.
He was gone for 5 years.
Girl's gotta have her dick, man.
I mean,
yeah.
Here we go.
And then there's a real cute scene with Terra and her teaching robot,
Eddie.
Yeah. And she picks a flower for Eddie, and they have this little back and forth. Which isn't particularly plot relevant because
yes, we need to know that she learns what the color orange is.
But yes. He finds a green flower.
Well, it's kind of funny because like the robot's trying to teach her stuff but she's just an innocent child. She's like, but like we can just play. So it's like constantly like resetting itself to like its like age range to like adjust her. I think it's really cute.
Yeah. And then Mark comes over and he picks her up to go fly to have lunch, I believe. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to have dinner. Have lunch.
And she freaks out. She gets real upset because he flew too high and too fast. She still wants to fly, but she wants to fly low and she wants to fly slowly. And
that sounds more like levitating.
What?
That sounds more like levitating. At that
it sounds a lot more like levitating, but that's what she's happy with. Yeah, it's a really cool scene. And that's cut immediately to Alan and his.
Wait. We got this has to be build up here because we've been waiting for this moment for the past 2 years, Matt.
Have we?
We never knew. Okay, listen. We knew Alan was an alien that fucks, but we never actually seen how this man fucks because he's an alien. So like, this has been we've been waiting for this for 2 years, man. Why do you think my name is? We finally figure out how Alan fucks.
I mean, I suppose we do.
Is this just the foreplay?
I don't know.
I'm not sure what it is, but it's a lot.
Oh no, I have it
for sure.
Yeah. So here's Alan and his wife. Wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're married.
We'll say wife for now.
I'm pretty sure they're married because he's the head of the coalition now, so he can do whatever he wants.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, so his wife and they're fucking. He's super not into it. He's not really even paying attention. And she's got tentacles that grow out of her back.
I think this is how they do it. I think it's like honestly, like in my mind, like are they like is this some Avatar shit? Like did they watch Avatar? And we're
it's like Avatar, but instead of like the hair, it's just hair to butthole.
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah, it's just her hair to his butthole, and that's how you do it. Continue.
So, so Alan's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, hon. I'm trying, but he's so distracted by, everything going on at work and Thragg and all that." And then she's like, "Well, you gotta get it together because I need to be fucked good." But an emergency call comes in. He gotta get on his pants and get out of there right quick to see what's going on with this emergency.
And she's like, "You owe me. You owe me some. You owe me some fucking."
So now we go back again to Mark and Terra. And Terra's drawing a picture, and she won't let Mark have any of the markers because they're all hers. Mm-hmm. And then Eddie comes up and says, "Hey, it's reading time." But Mark decides he's going to read to her instead. And Terra wants to read her favorite book, which is called Apple Doppel.
Apple Doppel.
And Mark reads Apple Doppel to her. And then Eve comes up, and Eve wants to read with them also. And Mark's like, "Yeah, of course, come read as a family." And then Terra tries to read, and she's just learning how to read. She's not very good at reading, but she's taking her time. She's learning.
I love it.
And then he's like, "Oh, it's my turn." And then she reads for a little bit. "Hey, Mark, it's your turn." And Mark's super not paying attention. And that's the end of that scene.
Yeah.
Oh, there's also. Oh, you want to go? I'm sorry. So
No.
There's like symbolism in the story of like the Apples finding their friends and being sad doing it, and Mark being like, "Oh fuck, I could relate to this Apple very well." Because he lost his friends, his family. Yeah.
He lost his doppels.
He lost his doppels.
And now he's a sad apple.
That is correct.
Oh wow, I didn't even think of that. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, which explains the weird face that he makes at the end.
So now is when something terrible could happen to Alan again. Alan shows up for the emergency session, and oops, it's a trap. Here's Representative Elia. Elia?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we saw her last time.
Right.
The Geico lizard incarnate.
Yes, and Guy Lizard faked an emergency session and has a bunch of her goons jump Alan. And
she explains
I
her
don't
plan
remember
basically.
Yeah, she explains her plan, which I don't remember very well.
She just wants to dethrone him because remember last time she was proposing to have the coalition do what Thragg's doing, how like just making more Viltrumites and use Mark and Oliver to do so, and Oliver's like, and I was like no, because he's a product of like breeding camps and all that stuff, and so she's like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna be the head of the coalition so we can actually I can actually do plans that are actually gonna be effective unlike you, so that's like the whole deal.
And so he had these guys jump him, but of course he's Alan. He's way too strong. He destroys all of them. And he's like, "Yo, what are you even thinking? What are you trying to do to kill me like this? Are you a goddamn idiot?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna explode myself." And she blows up the entire building, I think.
Yeah, the whole building.
And Alan falls down into the ground, and like he looks rough.
Not
an eyeball anymore.
Like it's kind of funny because like the way like the panels and stuff, like the story is like composed. Like when he says, "Oh, I'm gonna blow you up," like you think, "Oh, it's Alan, like it's gonna be fine," but then you actually see this and you're just like, "Oh shit."
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, he's a burnt chicken nugget.
Yeah. And I also like the fact that like Alan, one, he held back just because he wanted to hear her plan, when all really smart.
I was really thinking that. What did she think she was going to do to him?
Exactly.
These bodyguards are literally just for show. He's the strongest one there.
And two, I'm just like, I like when she like, when he's about to like go up to her, she's like, "Oh, please don't hurt me." He's like, "Why would I hurt? I'm not a savage. I'm not a barbarian. Like, I'm not just gonna like beat the crap out of you or kill you."
Yeah, I'm Alan the alien. I'm the chill one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna arrest you and banish you.
Yeah. So yeah, I just want to point that out.
Yeah. And so then after that, we cut back to Mark and Eve, and Eve's like, "Hey, so are you upset about the whole thing?" And he's like, "Yeah, I am, but like, I'm not holding it against you. It's just, it's not a thought I'm totally cool with, but like, it's also, it's cool, And they're there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense, And Mark's like, "But it didn't really matter because he's actually thinking about his friends back in space because Alan sent his mission up. They should know he's alive." And he's like, "Is it weird that they haven't contacted us? It's that's kind of odd." And he's like, and Eve reassures him it's probably nothing. And then we cut back to our friends in space, and it's definitely not probably nothing. It's not looking so good for our space pals.
No, our space are not having a good time.
They're not. They're not at all. So,
thoughts?
Great. First off, I love Nolan's nudist. I love the mutton chops on Nolan.
Yeah. Nolan looks great.
And Immortal with the beard action as well. Everyone's got a lot of beards. It seems like
the showtime is
even. We're gonna see later. Even Rex got a beard too.
Yeah, the show time has passed.
Yeah,
exactly.
Of course. Yes, of course.
But yeah, I really like this issue. I mean, it's kind of like I wouldn't describe it as like it's not really more of the I feel like I'm not sure if like next one is more chill or like if this one's like the chillest of the arc, but like it wasn't that intense, I'd say. It's funny. It's really funny. Again, more stuff with Eve, Mark, and Terra. Like Terra just being adorable and being a kid, and just Mark and them Eve trying to be parents. I love that stuff, of course. Alan, we finally know how Alan fucks.
At the very least, we know the foreplay because I'm not convinced that's.
I don't think it. I think it's the actual act. I don't think it's foreplay at all. but yeah, this issue was heartwarming. It was funny. It was also very intense because of the whole Alan attack. That was a cool, a little bits of action, and then that reveal at the end of like, oh yeah, guys, don't forget about Earth. We gotta go back to Earth. That's great. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
It's true.
Yeah, I liked it. That's about it. It's just like it's not that complicated.
Yeah, it just mostly set up. Issue 129.
Issue 129, people. So issue 129. Great cover. Oh god, great cover.
What's it say at the bottom, Michael?
What does it say at the bottom, you say? Introducing the all-new Viltrumite Empire, coming soon to a planet near you. That's actually funny. That's actually pretty funny. But yeah, great cover. Again, love it. I love, again, to say what Demoan said earlier, I love Thragg with the Battle Piece belt.
It's just so, he looks so
badass. Funny enough, when I was about to say this last episode, but I forgot, I saw a commission that Ryan Otley did where it's a common commission people have him do where it's Mark, but with the Battle Beast pelt. It's really cool. But yeah, that's what I'm pointing out. But yeah, he's with his two murder children, his two Olivers, and we're gonna see what that's gonna play out. So it transitions to Rex on Earth, and we see that the planet is kind of messed up because I think an invasion has happened, and basically he's talking to someone, like basically trying to talk about like, hey, look what they've done, look what these invaders have done. All of our many years of work has been destroyed in a matter of like, you know, how long this invasion's taken place. Like, you know, like it's like, you know, like world peace is not a thing right now. It's gonna take generations for like the people of the planet to like, you know, like to even recover from this, you know, like fully recover from this, to have world peace again. Like, you're like, do you know like how difficult that's gonna be? And like, listen, like, you know, like this wouldn't be sliding back to your old ways, wherever I'm talking to. This is like, you know, like look at the long side. Like if you stop this now, like it's gonna further any like, you know, destruction of them and them invading again. And he's just like, listen, like, you know, they could attack another innocent world for all we know. So like, there's the thing, like, Nolan, you have to kill him. And you're just like,
Biker Dad Nolan.
What?
I mean, I feel like if the guy's this beaten up, he probably could have just handed him to Robot if Robot wanted him dead that much.
Yeah. So, and it's just like Nolan and Rex work. Well, we figured out last time that like he was leaning a little bit towards Rex because it served the best interests of the Viltrumite Empire. So it wasn't really a surprise, but you know, but yeah. So this Nolan's like, I know, and crushes this person's skull. And for our audience and also for you guys, if just a reminder, does this guy look familiar to you?
Yeah, he does.
Yes. Yeah.
He's the guy who revived Angstrom Levi.
Yeah, these are the other beings that Angstrom went to that healed him and he was working for. So they're never so they basically they invaded Earth, it looks like, which is what Angstrom Levy was preparing. That's why he was there, to help them invade Earth, and he failed.
What?
So it comes full circle with the Invincible War and all that stuff. This is great. So yeah, he ends him, and he's just like, listen, like, and Rex is trying to be like, you're still a good leader. Don't worry, you did a good job. You killed him. We did it. Yay us. And then basically like, you know, like now it's time to rebuild. And yeah, like on man's like, I agree. And he says like, I'm glad the fighting is over. Thank you, Rex. You're a good friend. Like, so they're on like really good terms, it looks like. It transitions to Telescria, where we see our broken boy Alan.
He's looking great.
He's just loves.
It's not as bad as it looks.
I mean, like all of his looks like he's on like an organ machine, like an iron lung. All of his arms and legs are like just nubs, and like his eyes also not there.
Open.
So yeah, he's in bad shape. So then, you know, so Mark is, you know, like talking to like Alan, being like, yo, like I'm sorry, I wish we would have gotten here sooner. And like, you know, like it's terrible. It's like, listen, like it's no problem. Like it was fine. Like it's like there's nothing you could do. Like the coalition was going to betray me, whether like they were going to betray me sooner or later. It's all good, but it appeared that like it's not going to happen anytime soon because, you know, like the Geico Gecko killed herself. So it's all good. And then it's like, was she working for Thragg? And he's like, no, it was her own plan because she wanted to replace me to take down Thragg. So she wasn't a traitor. And she's like, how's Celia taking it? It's like, oh, she's taking it okay. I mean, like this has happened before, so it's all good. And then all we see is her say like, he says, oh crap. So I'm assuming he can see out of that, I guess. A lot of the bandages, but it's all good. And then we see Talia and this man pop up.
No, he just recognized the voice.
Oh, the voice. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what it was. Yeah, and then we see him be like, oh, hi, Eve. So this is what's his name? Caspian? Not Caspian.
Kubian.
Kubian.
Yeah, Kubian. Eve's ex. Yeah, because again, Kubian was Kubian was a recommendation from Talia when Mark was gone, and then so like Mark puts together like, oh, like this is the dude, this is the ex, and then Eve storms out, and then she's just like, yo, like, yeah, then Kubian comes after her, is like, listen, like we need to talk, and it's like and he's just like, no, we could, if you want to talk to me, you could do it in front of Mark, and it's just like, he's like, I mean, I'd rather not do that. But okay, fine. If you want to hear it right now, it's all good. And basically, he's just talking about like, listen, like like I know who you are. Sorry, I read that wrong. He's just like, listen, like I still have feelings for you. Like I think we ended on like the worst part of terms. Like like I feel like here's the thing. Like you need to cut ties. Like you and your like he calls it like archaic family obligations are really putting you down, and you should live for you. That was the reason why I had a problem with you, like breaking up with, like we had our issues. And she just straight up punches him in the fucking face, and then freaking Tara's like, yeah, she like Terra loves watching her mom be a badass, and then she was just like, oh my god, but like he was talking too much, but like I couldn't understand what he was saying. But then my mommy punched him in the face, and he was like, you punched me in the face. And it was just like it's so cute. And then Listen's like but then like they go in another room and start talking, and Listen's like, Oliver's like, and Tara's like, Mark's like, listen, Terra, you can't condone this. That's not okay. But Mark's like, or Oliver's like, yeah, it's a little okay. It's a little okay. And then he's like, Oliver's like, listen, like the dude was a jerk. I'm sorry. And so while they're talking and Mark explaining his feelings about the situation, Talia comes in, and this is the part of the book where I'm just like, this bitch said what? Like this heifer said what? Like come on now. And she was just like, Eve loved Kubian. Like like they were great for each other where you were gone, doing whatever you were doing. And he's like, the problem was Eve was too attached to your little monstrosity over there, because our people don't really connect to our children very well. We don't really have feelings for our children. So like he didn't really like that. He thought she didn't have to be the main focus in the relationship. And that's why, and you know what she did? She chose him. And I didn't like that, because it's revealed that Kubian's her brother. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, Jesus, Talia, right in front of Terra, is like, yo, fuck your daughter. Basically. Mm-hmm. And then Mark's just like, if I were Mark, I would have said something like, I would have said something like a little bit, defensive, defend my daughter, because like that's kind of messed up. But like he's kind of quiet about it.
And I mean, listen, that would take me back. I don't know how I would respond. I don't think I could process someone telling me that to just throw away my child.
Exactly. I would punch him.
That would be a lot.
Yeah. If it was an old lady, I'd punch her.
Also,
my child.
Also, I think it's very funny how she seems very upset about this and upset at Mark, even though it's her husband's fault that Mark was gone in the first place.
That is true.
It seems like a lot of her aggression is just misplaced.
But like Oliver comes and be like, ignore her, like like she's the absolute worst anyway. And he's like, listen, he's like, it's all good, like no harm, like no harm, no foul. Like I understand why she would be upset. And he's like, Eve and I were pretty worried that like that like the fact of like just going back to Earth, that they're going back to Earth tomorrow. And he's like, yeah, like it's not a bad idea. It's just like like it's just he has to stay away from all this while Alan heals and all that stuff. And then Eve's like, "Can we go?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, we can leave. We have to make sure that like we say goodbye to Alan real quick." And then she's like, Tara's like, "Did you kill him?" He's like, "Did you murder him? Please tell me you murdered him." So it transitions again to so this scene happens, and then it transitions to like we see these pages of like Alan's recovery, and then we get the right after the aftermath of that issue with Kubrick, and he's like, "Listen, like it's like she punched you in the she punched him." And he's like, and she just left. Like that woman is out of control. Then he's just like, "It's all good." So then we get the process of Alan healing, and now we get the reveal of the best version of Alan, in my opinion. Rocky Alan, scaly
rock
The
hard
thing, Alan. The thing, Alan.
Yeah,
Alan.
I love when Alan looks like this, and it's so cool.
And Alan follows Super Saiyan rules. Every time he almost killed, he gets stronger, right?
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's exactly it. And the fact the doctor was explaining like he was gonna be healed. He was gonna be like almost healed in a matter of days, not like weeks. So he was getting stronger. So we see Alan all healed, and then Oliver comes with a progress report about like how they're tracking Thragg, and they're making progress, but like he's starting to worry a little bit, and it transitions to these two Thragg Olivers murdering
Thragglings.
yeah Thragglings. That's actually good.
Thank you very much.
These Thragglings, like the male Thraggling is like ripping people in half and stuff like that, and he's just like his sister stops him, and he's like, "Have you lost your mind? Like, listen, like we've already won. You don't have to prove your point by killing more of them." But he's sadistic, so it's he doesn't care. And then so then like Thragg comes in out of nowhere, and is like, and her name is S.H.I.E.L.D, and I think his name is Onan.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, S.H.I.E.L.D, is there a problem here? And then they hesitate for a second, and so she's like, "Yeah, there's no problem. Like the world is ours. Yada yada yada. We conquered shit." So it transitions back to Nolan in space, flying to the Viltrumite base on the moon. And he's like, honey. And he's like, Lucy, we got some explaining to do.
Oh my fucking god, Mikey.
and then he gets to see his son and Eve and Terra, and he embraces her.
You skipped the one panel where he's overjoyed.
Oh yeah, I skipped that one because I don't want to have too many pages.
Fair enough.
He's a happy dad.
He's such a happy dad, and he's just like, and he's like, "Dad's good to see you." And it's like, "How long have you been back?" Because like the reason why he didn't know he was back, the communication was disrupted because of the invasion, which makes sense. And he's like, and then you see Terra's like, "Oh, like my daddy's stronger than you, Papa." And he's like, "Listen, like he's like, like even though like he lets me fly, even though but he goes real slow." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm so jealous." And I like how he calls her Peanut. Like Peanut's his nickname for Terra, which is really cute.
Mm-hmm.
And so after that, Mark and them are talking. Mark and Nolan are talking alone, and he reveals like, "Yeah, like me and it's like you're friends with him." It's like, "Yeah." So like Rex and Nolan made amends. They've made some great progress, not just with Earth, but with the Viltrumites as well. Being as well, and like they've he's done some good, but like Mark's just refusing to believe it because Rex betrayed everyone and murdered like their friends and all that stuff. And he's just like, but then he's just like, "Hey man, listen, you'll get used to Rex eventually. You'll agree with his plans just like the rest of us did because he's inevitably he's a good guy." And then we get this crash. A noise happens in the distance. Transitions to the panel I've been waiting for. Eve beating Anissa's ass. I'm sorry, Eve beating this bitch's ass. I remember I can't call her by name because I hate her. And they're having a fight. Nolan's like, he's like, Terra, get out of here. Like, make sure, like, go where it's somewhere safe. And Mark's like, "Eve, what are you doing?" And Eve's like, "Don't help her. Don't you dare help her." Like, she's like pissed. And then like, but like Mark's like, "What? I think like, I'm not helping. I just don't want you to kill either anyone or getting you killed." And she's just like, he's like, "After what she did to you, like you're just gonna stand there and like not let me beat her ass." And then Nolan just grabbed this and like, "What did you do to my son?" As you see here, like he just gets hella defensive as a father should. And then and this is like I didn't, and then Mark does the thing we didn't expect, and it's like she didn't say anything, she didn't do anything, and he's like Mark, and it's like Anissa didn't do anything, and then Nolan lets her go, and then Progressa,
Dad?
Nolan lets her go, and it's just like not now, just leave. And then Eve's looking at Mark all upsetty spaghetti, and Mark's like Eve's like apologizing later on, like I'm sorry, but like she asked where you were, and I just got impulsive and just wanted to just beat her ass because I like remember what she did to you, like the last time, like how can you not be furious with her right now? And it's like the fact that he's not mad, like the fact that he's after what happened, he's been through so much, he's kind of come to terms with it, and like dealing with Anissa is not his biggest priority right now. Right now, he just wants to make up for lost time, because he's been gone for 5 years, and like and then the thing he says here, like I don't want to tell my parents, like I don't want them, I don't know what my dad would do if he found out, which obviously like he would kill her because that's unacceptable. But she's like, listen, like, okay, it's your prerogative. You got to figure that shit out, like eventually, because like you can't just keep ignoring that situation forever. And Mark's again like saying, this is all that matters. I just want to be my family. I just want to make up lost time, and like us, like and then he says something was like, I don't want anything to get in the way of either of that.
Mikey, your blue balls in me. Get to the thingy. You gotta get to the thingy.
So it transitions to Anissa. She's going home. Because she lives on Earth. Because remember, all the Voter might see to fuck. And we see what looks like either her boyfriend or her husband, and she has a kid. So yeah, she did the thing. So she has a daughter with this man, and so obviously like she assaulted Mark and nothing happened. She didn't get pregnant, and his name is Scott. Specifically, his name is Scott Johnson. People for the record, and then he's asking him like, is he awake? And this is the ball drop. We hear someone in this say "mommy," and for our audience and for dramatic effect, I'd like to introduce you to y'all to Marcus Johnson, aka
Marky Mark.
Mini Mark.
This issue ends.
Mini Mark.
Yeah.
Mini Mark.
Look at him being all adorable, being an adorable product of rape.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how this issue ends, people. My favorite twist, also one of my favorite twists in the whole series as well. So thoughts on this issue, people?
Eve's a good wife. Eve is a great wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Eve's again, great wife.
Yes.
So sorry, Demoan, what were you saying?
No. Gosh, there was something I had at the beginning, but I already forgot what it was. So somebody else go. I'll remember it.
Sorry, Demoan. It's probably my bad.
No, you're okay.
Alan dying, very sad, but he's going to be powering up very great. It's going to be great for the eventual fight with Thragg, because of course they're going to fight Thragg. Interesting Olivers, the new Olivers. I'm very excited too. These I actually like, and I look forward to seeing it.
Why?
Because I like them.
Because they murdered straight out of the gate?
Yes, they're not lying about anything like the Oliver, the original one, did.
You also have to take into account Christian did name them. He's now emotionally attached.
I did?
You named them Thraglings, right?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, Thraglings. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, do you have anything about this issue?
It's good. It was slower, and there's some really good some good character stuff in here. I really like the everything with what was his name, Kubian? Yeah,
Kubian, yeah.
I like that whole scene. It was good.
Yeah, the Kubian stuff was great. I like just this, like ever since I always say this, like because me and Demoan we've read this and you guys haven't, but like ever since Anissa was revealed, again we were we were pissed.
We were anti-Anissa.
We were very anti-Anissa, but at the same time, I was looking forward to when we were gonna have now Marky come into play, because Marky is also one of my favorite characters in the comic, to be honest with you.
Mini Mark.
Yeah. So yeah.
I didn't expect her to come back. Quite a surprise.
You didn't expect Anissa to come back?
You didn't
No.
expect Anissa to come back? Why?
No,
Why?
You just thought that whole thing would be brushed under the rug completely?
No, I just thought they were going to talk about it, and it just be, an emotional thing without her.
But then,
now that
but the whole idea of this, she came back and she's raising Mark's child. Was a
very interesting. Yeah, very interesting way that they're taking the story. That I'm.
I'll say this: Marky is going to be a very important character, at least towards the end. So
Mark or Mini Mark?
Marky.
Regular.
Yeah, I bet Mark will be also.
At the end.
Yeah. The main character is going to be a very important character.
Yeah, Marky will be important down the line. I promise you. But yeah, this is a great. This issue is the as I said, this one's a more chill issue. It's because Matt says it's a little slower, but the ending is so the bomb drop is so good that I'm just like, okay, I like it overall. And also Eve, good wife. Eve, supportive, good wife. But so I guess we'll do
130.
Yeah, 130. Who's doing 130?
That's me. I'm doing 130.
Demoan.
Okay, so we start off 130. So last issue, remember that Invincible back on Earth. This cover starts off with Invincible looking at his ex-friend.
I love this.
It's a stare down between Robot and Mark is always a fun thing to look at. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize how tall Rex is now, though.
Nah, he's wearing high heels.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just him or the suit.
Yeah, he probably adds a few heights because of the suit. But anyway, I really like this cover just because it's a simple background. It's just them staring at each other.
Yeah, all of them are like that, which I think it's not too much. It's like setting the mood for this whole arc,
What does the bottom say?
What I do think is very funny is the little tagline at the bottom. Isn't it the worst when superheroes fight? Do they ever fight villains anymore?
Yeah, that's good.
But anyway, we start this issue off with our boy Britt. It seems like he's got bionic legs now.
Yeah,
which is nice.
No, I thought it was the costume.
Oh no, it is part of his. It is part because he has. He always had the boots, but now he has a brace that I don't think he had before.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm. But I think the brace might be part of the big gun he has, and he's using this gun to save people.
I love this gun
by shooting them in rafts, which honestly I think this is really cool.
No, it's really smart. It's like a capsule tech or whatever. It's really cool.
They can't breathe though, which is a problem. So we have to stay from quick.
Yeah, but I love this. If I ever draw Britt in the future, I'm drawing him with this big ass gun.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I think that's the way to do it.
He looks like Cable.
Does he?
No, I see it a little bit.
I can see it. I can definitely see it.
I think it's the fact that he has white hair and he has a big gun.
Yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all the connectors.
Oh, no, I do see it at least. But anyway, he's running through the building, saving people's lives, but he's only got one raft left. And he fires it at this woman, and he just misses the kid. The woman drops the ball at the last second, and her kid's not in the raft. So our boy Britt has to go, and he gets crushed under the rebel, but he gets to save this child, which is nice. Yeah. But anyway, they talk about how, the wake of the invasion, the world... that a bunch of people died in the invasion, but the entire invasion was still only 1,513 people died. That's still a lot of loss of life, but that's a whole other universe invasion and only just over 1,000 people died. Do any of you guys know off the top of your head how many people died in 9/11 or Pearl Harbor?
9/11 was around 2,900 something.
Yeah, that's in the thousands.
Yeah, so that's half of that, and this is a worldwide invasion. That's insane.
Yeah.
But anyway, Rex is going over that, and he's talking.
Christian, you're here.
What?
Christian's here.
I am.
Tech Guy, you're right.
Yeah.
You look so good in that suit, Christian.
Oh yeah. Well, just real quick: Robot, Immortal, Capes,
You got it.
Astounding Wolfman and the Gary Hampton School of Gifted Werewolves,
There you
That's
go.
right. And if you look at some of the heroes, you see that they have what's it called? New outfits. Like Duplicate has a new outfit.
Yeah, even Ted Jacket's changed. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's Ted Jacket looks different. But also like just I don't know if you were gonna mention this, but like now the villains are also on Rex's side because we see the Mauler twins and all that stuff.
Yeah, he goes over that saying like the villain, because he says villains have very simple motivations, and once you give them what they want, they're pretty willing to work with you. So he talks about like how he got like a bunch of villains, and then the ones he can't get, he obviously just captures. But like he's talking and it's like, hey, this is a new system. It's going great. There's a lot of progress, but there's still some things wrong, and there's still some people holding out on the system. But like overall, this is like a good system. Like, and he's describing it, and we learn that this is Rex talking to Mark and his dad. And Rex is trying to discuss how he's grown closer to his dad, and how like you should just give me a chance. And Marx wants to talk alone, so they go all the way to space to use this earpiece to talk back and forth to each other. And Marx still kind of not believing that his dad is siding with Rex, but Nolan like assures him like, I'm looking at this like purely rational, no emotion. Like Rex is just the best choice. And also at this point, like it's been more than 5 years since he's took control. Like what's his end game at this point?
Yeah.
There's no poverty. People are like living longer, happier lives. There's like very little conflict apart from the recent invasion, but that wasn't Earth-based. Rex couldn't control that.
Yeah.
And so Nolan's like, this is like the perfect place to rebuild a populace of like a nearly extinct race like the Viltrumites. And he's talking like at first, he was doing things from like the shadows, but like he's become a public figure and like everyone loves him. He won for president apparently on write-ins in the last election, but he turned it down.
Word.
Right. Rex doesn't want to be president of America. I mean,
or the world.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't blame him either.
Yeah.
But anyway, Mark's still not completely convinced Robot's completely altruistic. He's convinced he still wants to make himself a king. But like Nolan points out, like at this point, he easily could have, and people would welcome it if he became a king. But like he's still holding off. And Mark's still suspicious, but Nolan's like, I'm not suspicious. I have no reason to be. But anyway, they continue the conversation. Mark's trying to get across that he'll just never trust Robot. And like, it was nice to come back for the visit, but like they have to like leave again because they can't like be in a world where Robot might be doing good, but they got there through a flawed, what he sees as a flawed string of events. But anyway, we bounce back to the ship and we see that Terra is, what's the robot's name again?
Eddie.
Thank you.
Yes.
Eddie the robot, she's playing games with her boy, and her dad comes back, and she's trying to get out of her schoolwork, but Mark's not having it. He knows what she's trying to do. So he sends her back to schoolwork, and then Eve walks in, and she talks about how, hey, I took her to my parents, but apparently the dad gave Terra a broom as a gift.
The sexist one.
Eve was offended, rightfully so. But she was also sick of hearing how everyone was so into Rex and how he was making the world better, because she has the same viewpoint as Mark. So they pack up to leave. And as they're leaving, Terra, being adorable as always, she insists that she be called Penelope Pancake instead of Button. Which, Terra really is the cutest thing ever.
She is.
Penelope at the very least, the cutest thing in this book, and it's not close. But anyway, they say their goodbyes. Mark says he'll be careful. And as they're leaving, they're like, hey, well, this is just normal now. And like they're realizing like how many things that aren't normal to them before have become normal. Flying, spaceships, aliens, being betrayed. And Eve takes this a little hurt, but Mark says he doesn't mean it like that. And of course, Eve, for some reason, says Mark is too good for her, which is not true. It's not true, but like I'm also not sure if Eve is too. I think they're good for each other. I think they're at the perfect level for each other. Because they're both. I personally, I think they both have issues.
Yeah.
But I think they complement each other well.
They do perfectly, in my opinion.
But anyway, we leave them after Mark is making her feel better, and we come to see Oliver talking to Thragg again. And this time, Thragg is requesting. Thragg is talking about details of the invasion of Oliver, but Oliver wants to meet up with Thragg in person because Oliver wants to know that Thragg is willing to take risks. Because right now, Oliver is taking all the risks of them working together. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Right after he demands this, we cut back, and they're finally back on their own little planet. The family's back on their own little slice of paradise, and they talk about how we could stay here forever. Sorry, had to burp real quick. And Mark's like, we can do that. We have all the food we need. We have all the stuff for Terra to learn. And if we stay here, we don't have to get dragged into countless fights. So like, why not like hide out here? And Eve's behind it. Eve's ready to hide out. And Mark asks, is she sure? Because he doesn't believe her. She says she is. Terra pops out of the tree because Terra says Mommy says a bad word. She says, yes, damn it. And Terra thought that was very funny that her mother said a bad word. But anyway, Terra keeps repeating the word, and of course her mom is mad, and she gets sent to do schoolwork before she gets in trouble. And of course, Mark is sent to make lunch before he gets in trouble. And then after they go off to do their various chores, we bounce back to Alan. Alan's doing rehab right now, and he's getting a report from an agent. Basically, it's just updates on stuff that like he's missing. But his wife comes in, and she just was wondering who it was, and she's very happy that he's going to be walking probably in a few days. Of course, Alan doesn't look very happy. He's so stressed, and he's recovering from getting his whole body exploded, which I can't imagine is easy. But anyway, we cut away to Thragg, and he's fighting something. He's giving out tips to use your opponent's strength against them. And we learn that he's fighting the Ragnars, right?
Yeah, the
Ragnars.
Which
is the Viltrumite weakness, the kryptonite of the Viltrumites.
Well, it wasn't. It was just like a beast that could fight the Viltrumites. And
it's one of the only like creatures that can kill them.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, as he's fighting, one of his hot bug wives comes in and tells him that his twins have returned. And the twins, of course, ask how they're going to conserve him. And Thragg is ready to give them new orders, and he wants them to kill Mark Grayson. That's right, everybody. Mark's going to die.
Well, it was a good run, you guys.
It's true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Good thing we got little Marky Mark as backup.
So what do people think?
End credits. Invincible's done. So
it was a good. This was a good issue.
Yeah.
Thragg finally is becoming a threat. He's pulling his final move. He's pulling the trigger, so to
Well,
speak.
he's been playing the long game, so
Mm-hmm.
basically,
He's been playing the long game since the beginning.
Yeah.
that's true.
And
Yeah.
he keeps losing the long game. Maybe he should play shorter.
Hey, listen, man. He's trying his best. That's
Well,
all I can ask of
from
him.
what it looks like, he has the upper hand.
I mean, he had the upper hand last time too.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, I don't know. Thragg is he gets beat a lot. It's
But
unfortunate.
I feel like he has upper hand because one, he has an army of Olivers, and they're probably like thousands of them, millions. Like how many? Like hundreds of thousands of them.
Yeah,
So,
that sounds about because Thragg definitely fucks too.
yeah, and then it's an army of Viltrumite like hybrids that age quick, so you don't have to waste your time trying to raise them like with Mark, you know.
Mm-hmm. Damn, imagine 18 years for each soldier, but now it's a span of like months.
Exactly.
I'm reading the cover for the next issue, and it's hilarious.
But I will say something that I figured out what I wanted to say last issue that I remember.
What is
I
it?
love how like stuff moves in the background of this world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I love that like we come back to Earth and they have their fucking little invasion thing. I like that like the characters are growing and changing without Mark having to be there to instigate it.
Fair point.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, this issue is pretty good. It's again a lot of. I mean, I like how they go back to Earth, and like I love how Mark's still like I don't trust Rex still, but it's fair because Mark has a different mindset.
I'm gonna be right back. I have to grab my charger. Sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah, it's good. I like how we went back home. I like how we try to resolve things. I like how we see some of the Guardians of Globe, like the other characters from the Invincible universe. I mean, I love seeing Britt. So like Britt's nice.
They turn Britt into a nurse.
Yeah.
He's just a supporting character now. He's not even a big puncher.
Yeah, Britt's a support type now.
Yeah, he's a support type.
But yeah, it's good stuff, and I just love it. All the family stuff is great. I mean, the Thragg stuff. I mean, Thragg, I would agree. Like with you, I think either Christian, either you, Demoan said like the Thragg and like the two children that are as high ups are like really interesting and
The twins.
Yeah,
Very important that they're twins.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they're twins because I just think they're twins.
No, they are. That's confirmed.
Oh, okay, they are twins. I must have missed that.
Like we haven't technically gotten to it yet, but it. Actually, no. I think he has referred to them as twins.
Yeah. Okay, I think so. But yeah, it's that relationship is very like you can contrast like they're doing away where they're contrasting Mark and Eve and Terra's like lovely family relationship where it's all happy and they're getting along, but they have the other side of the spectrum with Thragg and the twins, and it's just like a very cold, brutal, like no fucks given type of family dynamic. And I like how that plays with the writing and stuff like that. So yeah, good stuff. So yeah, anything else before we move on?
Nope.
All right, so issue 131.
That's me again.
As you again.
Read that shit in the bottom, Demoan.
Okay, so issue 131. If you remember from last issue, I'm not sure if you can remember that far back. Thragg sent the twins to go kill Mark and his family.
What?
So the cover is the twins descending on their alien residence, with Terra crying and holding her father's hand. The tagline: "The truth is, the cover is a spoiler. We should have gone with the one that was just hands." Christian's right. That is really funny.
What was the one with just hands?
Like, remember the one with Mark and Eve, like way back? I think it was Viltrumite War or some big event where it's like Mark's bloodied hand and like Eve's hand, like trying to meet each other.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a bunch of covers with hands before.
Okay.
That's really funny, actually. It's really funny. So self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I like the cover. But we start the issue off. Our boy Oliver, he's coming in to take a call from Thragg. And they're talking, and he's like, what else can you... And Thragg wants to make sure that Oliver is completely loyal. And Oliver just wants to know what he can do to prove his commitment. And then Thragg just tells him nothing. I'm going to have your brother killed. I want you to just sit there and do nothing. And of course, Oliver says, please don't. We can talk some sense into him. There's options. He might not even get involved. But Thragg's like, too late. Your brother's going to die because of what he did to the Viltrum Empire.
Yeah. Remember when he flew through my planet?
Yeah. Thragg is understandably upset at him. So he wants to execute Mark and his whole family for his crimes. That's right. He's wiping out the bloodline. But anyway, Hallelujah comes in to check on Oliver because he was screaming. And she just needs to know what happened. But we finally cut back to the Grayson family residence. It's very unfortunate what's about to happen here.
Yeah.
But Eve is gardening, which I guess she does by choice because she doesn't really need to garden. So I guess she just gardens as a hobby too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for her. I'm proud of her. Picking up hobbies. I gotta love horticulture. But anyway, he's playing catch with his daughter, and it's time to do homework. And Terra says she doesn't have to do homework because she knows all the math. And
I can believe it.
Right. I don't think she has to do homework because she knows all the math. What other homework would there be? Right?
Yeah.
But as she's heading off to do the math homework, Unan, I think his name is.
Thraggling number 128.
Okay. Thraggling number 128. Now, he comes and destroys Eddie, which I think this might be probably the most jarring death in the entire series.
It comes out of nowhere.
I was really close to Eddie as a character. I knew his name and everything.
No, listen. I was like, yo, Eddie's like, I remember when I first read this series, like, yo, Eddie's about to be their basically like their R2D2 or their C3PO. That's gonna be dope. But they just wreck his shit. Like, he's only around for like 5 issues, and they kill him. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they really just destroy him.
Big sad.
So messed up. I was like, God damn it! Damn it, Kirkman! Stop taking things away from us.
But anyway, Thraggling number 128, he picks up Terra, and Terra's upset because he killed his friend. He killed her friend. And Thraggling number 128 is very excited to split Terra over his knee. And of course, the parents aren't having that. Mark, I love Mark's face when he punches Thraggling 128.
Yeah.
Wait, which? It's moving with his eyes just sort of wide open, just like.
Yeah, it's a. I love the face. You have it now?
I do not.
How did you miss this? Okay, it's a wonderful face.
It's very funny.
Just to be aware, these two issues.
He looks like this. He looks like that.
These last two, I tried so hard to take every page because every page is so good. So like I had to make some sacrifices.
There's at least one beautiful part of every page, and it's very upsetting for find pictures, I imagine.
Yeah.
But anyway, Mark throws Terra to Eve, trying to get their daughter to safety. I'm gonna assume this is Thraggling number 127.
No, Ursula.
So you give this one a name? So
No, that's her name.
Her
name's Ursula.
I heard her name, but like you don't.
Yeah, what?
They both have names.
Yeah, one's Thraggling 128. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 129. I lied.
So
and then one's Ursula.
So you acknowledge you acknowledge Ursula, or you don't acknowledge what's his name? QAnon? What's his name?
Well, Thraggling number 128. I don't get why we're having this conversation.
But
Continue.
anyway, Ursol
Ursol?
grabs Eve's foot, but it's the robot foot.
Word.
Chops her leg off, and her daughter is very concerned that she might be a robot, but it's just her leg.
I want a what if issue of Invincible of like what if it was Eve's other leg?
That would have been real unfortunate.
Mm.
Because I don't think this would have played out exactly the way it ended up playing out if she had lost her other leg.
Yeah.
But anyway, Ursol is punching Eve's bubble. It eventually breaks. But Mark is pretty easily handling Unan here. Like it's not hard for him, but like it's enough that like he can't help his wife and child. But he does get off of Unan just enough to get Ursol off of his wife and child, and then take Terra and fly away.
And they plan to play a game of chicken there in this other.
Yeah, and it's very funny that neither of them decide to pull away. They just run into each other. Like they're so ready for it. But anyway, Mark is flying with his child, and his daughter is. Mark and his daughter have this conversation where like she's scared, but like she needs to be brave for him right now. Like, I'm gonna protect you. Just be brave for me. So he starts flying fast, and we cut back to Eve, who's fighting with one leg against the Viltrumites. Against Ursol rather. Eve runs into the house after she puts like this big pink, not see-through iron helmet on Ursol to hide. And we cut back to Mark. This comic is a lot of quick cuts back and forth.
Yeah.
But we cut back to Mark. I guess Thraggling number 128 is gaining.
Yeah.
Mark has
it's not like he's gaining because like he's not trying to like not like because she's getting hurt while she's flying because she's not used to it. So
yeah, Terra isn't used to flying. She also hasn't figured out that she has to like hold her breath and not actively breathe when she flies.
Yeah.
So like she'll breathe, but she can't breathe in because she's going too fast to breathe in. But Mark has to fly faster in order to get away from this Thraggling. And like I just said, Terra can't breathe now. But so Mark slows down, says I'm sorry, and Thraggling number 128 comes and he body checks Mark in the back, making him drop his daughter. To which Mark grabs her by her leg and then uses his other arm to punch the Thraggling, which very impressive maneuver.
Word.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, he tells her to take a deep breath, and he rockets off again. Well, presumably rockets off again, and we cut back to Ursol. Ursol is looking for Eve, can't find her, but he also knows that Eve can like change things around, so she's just going to destroy the whole house. But Eve was only waiting for an opening, and Eve is putting up a really good fight against Ursol.
I love how she uses the house as a weapon. I love that. It's
Ursol,
so creative.
If Eve was fighting any enemy but a Viltrumite, this would have been hands down her win.
Word.
But I think the Viltrumites just don't get tired. It's unfortunate for Eve. But you know, Eve and Ursula are having this conversation. Ursula's complimenting Eve on her powers, but she says you can't do this forever. And she's saying she's not even getting tired. And she's ready to kill everyone just because her dad Thragg commanded it. And Eve is sitting at the bottom. Eve gets pretty beat soundly. Well, not soundly, but like enough that she's back in the bottom of her own hole. And she's telling Ursula to get it over with, but Ursula seems to be hesitating. But Mark is flying, and as he's going, he's finally being caught up with again by Thraggling 128. This time, Thraggling 128 grabs his leg. Again, he drops Terra, but again, he manages to pick her up and stop her from falling. He tells her to hang on his back because at this point, he's just going to have to fight this Thraggling. So they're going blow for blow, and eventually the Thragling gets a good hit on Mark, makes him drop his daughter for a third time. This time the Thragling gets her, and instead of the Thragling likes to play with his food, so to speak.
Yep.
Because he could have very easily just killed Terra right here, like he was told to. But Mark says, "I'm going to kill you to the Thragling." And the Thragling just kind of tosses Terra behind him, saying, "I really hope you were going to say let him go, or let her go over." Which, honestly, I thought that line was kind of funny by him.
He's the jokester twin.
He's the jokester twin. So he just tries to intercept Mark before he can get Terra catching the ground, and we end with Terra plummeting.
No!
I just want her to be safe from everything.
Yeah, I don't want. The fact that she's in this situation, I'm just like, poor girl.
These are mental
it's really
scars.
tense.
Yeah.
Super tense.
Thoughts?
It's good.
Cool.
good.
Next issue?
This was a big action-packed issue. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we can just go to the next one because we can talk about this one and the next one is just one thing.
Cool. I think that's probably the best.
Yeah.
So, issue 132, we have Thragg.
Great cover, dude.
Yeah, absolutely great cover. Completely indifferent about whatever he just did and whoever he just killed, with sparks of fire flying behind him, just showing how much of a threat he really is. And at the bottom reads, "Nothing can prepare you for what Thragg has done. Period. Be afraid."
Dude.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Good cover.
And it's funny, like, I don't know why I didn't mention this, but like I just thought because people would like look at the cover and be like, Otley's doing the covers. He still does the covers. Yeah.
That's why the art didn't really change too much, and Mark looks normal in the covers. It's definitely the most different out of all of them.
I just think it's funny that like Otley gave himself a break because he's been doing this book nonstop for like almost over a decade at this point. He was like, I'm just gonna chill for a little bit and just do covers for this arc.
So issue 132 begins with Terra flying and screaming for her father. Unfortunately, Mark can't save her because Thragling number 128 is grabbing onto him, insisting him to fight. But he's just trying to wiggle away as best as he could to grab her before she hits the ground.
Also, something I would like to point out, though, is that Thragling 128 has a black eye and Mark has no injuries.
Showing the power difference between the two.
Yeah, it's purely just Thragling 128 is purely just a distraction for Mark.
Yeah, these Olivers are, as I said before, the great value version of a Viltrumite. Yeah, but a good top quality Viltrumite, Terra, falling, is able to catch herself. At age 5, her powers have officially kicked in.
That's what I'm just like, yep, that's impressive.
Years before Mark's powers were able to kick in. And then she's like, "Oh my God, Daddy, I can fly. I'm scared though, but I can't figure out how to get down." And then she turns around, like, shocked. "Oh no, someone's got me." And it's your boy, Thragg, ready to commit a late-term abortion on poor Terra.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And he says, "Man, falling would have been way better than what I'm about to do to you, kid." And she's like, "No, Thragg, let me go."
His taste is really good. I think it's really clean. I haven't said it yet, but I kind of love Walker's arc throughout this entire arc.
No, it's great. No,
yeah.
It's so good. It's really good.
Yeah.
I especially love the way he draws Viltrumites.
Yeah. They're hockey, man. They're very jacked.
Like, especially like this here, like this page here, this composition of like how like Thragg is angled while he's dangling Terra. It's just like, it's well done, well thought out.
Yeah, it's really good. And it's very clean. I think the art throughout this arc is very clean.
Yeah, all these art is cleaner. There's a lot because like there's a lot of like hatching and stuff like that in and shading in Otley's pencils.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, this is a lot more clean, and it's
So the interaction between Terra and Thragg. Thragg's actually kind of impressed by Terra that she's still willing to fight at age 5. And she's able to look him in the eye and say that she's not scared of him. has a very impressive ability to lie because she's obviously scared of this guy. He's a hockey man. And he's like, such a pity to kill you. And it's about to twist her head. But suddenly, what? Oliver being a hero?
It's
Very
true.
new.
Very
shocking.
Can't just sit by and watch his family get slaughtered.
Yeah.
That's his niece, man.
Yeah, man. He's being the best gay uncle that he could be, and he
Well,
shoves
okay.
Thragg right off of her, having poor Terra fall down. Remember, she could fly, so
But she just doesn't know what to do, like just not a maneuver.
exactly. So Oliver, obviously distraught by that, he's like, "Go try to find your dad and figure out how to fly while you're at it." And she's like, "Okay, I'll try." Back to Mark, obviously kicking Thraggling 128's ass, bites his arm, and he's like, "Ah, you suck," and punches him in the back of the head. Mark's just kind of still trying to get away. He's not giving him a real fight. Thraggling 128 rips his shirt off, and he goes running, trying to find Terra. Cuts back to Eve, getting Ursol kicking her ass, but she's not getting tired. The more she tries to stall, she just keeps on going and going, and she's not slowing down anytime soon. Eve blasts one more energy blast into her face. Mark finally arrives and is like, "Hey, good one, babe. You still got it." And Ursula's like, "You bitch!" Comes in for a punch, and Mark's like, "Bitch, no!" and just throws her on the ground like a pile of trash. Then the couple holds hands, flies off to try to see where Terra is.
Her feet are literally sticking out, bro.
Yeah. Mark is very overpowered compared to...
You are now a plant!
Yes. Literally planted her. Mark says that he noticed a lack of a splattered body on the ground, so he's assuming that Terra's probably still alive. So they go off to try to find her. Cut back to...
Mark planted the other sibling, too, in the very beginning.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Oliver and Thragg are fighting. For some reason, Terra is still there, not finding her dad, which is literally her one job.
She didn't know because she
I
doesn't know
thought
how
she
to
knows
move.
how to fly, Christian.
She can just
slept
walk.
like 5 minutes.
Fuck, she doesn't know how to land.
Yeah.
She doesn't even know how to land.
So Thragg and Oliver are fighting. Thragg obviously has the upper hand. He has a conversation with Oliver, saying, "Now I see where your loyalty lies. Did you ever truly side with us, with your own kind?" And Oliver's like, "What do you think? We're having a fight as we speak." And Thragg's like, "I have spent so much time with the Thraxian Viltrumites. I know how aliens outside world is to them." And then he goes, "I think you'd rather not admit to yourself how at home you know you'd be with us." Because, you know, these are kind of the closest thing he has to legit 100% family. His actual...
That's true. That's very true.
And then your girl, Terra, is like, "I want some heat," and comes in with a kick, but obviously with her incredible powers and her infantile bones, not a great combination, and she breaks her ankle. Oliver's like, "Terra, no!" as an uncle would do. And Thragg's like, "Bitch, please. I don't think you understand the power difference between this. You may have been bred to be strong." Oh, and Oliver's like, "You may have been bred to be strong about all of us, but we got the Argyll bloodline throwing in our veins. We are born leaders. You could never be us." And then Thrax was like, "Looks just like regular blood to me," and punches a hole right through his gut.
I love Thrax so much.
This man straight up says, "Man, fuck your Argyll blood, bro."
Yep. And Terra, obviously mentally scarred with her eyes red from tears.
I just want to protect her. Like, she literally just watched her uncle get impaled.
Thragg is very indifferent about this whole situation and casually just wipes the corpse of Oliver off his forearm. And then Terra asks, "Is he dead?" Because she's 5 and she doesn't know that a hole through the chest could kill people.
Oh, no. In fairness, though, he's a Viltrumite. A hole through the chest doesn't necessarily kill a Viltrumite, as we learned with Mark.
Yeah.
That
With Mark.
is a very fair... Why is he dead in that case?
Yeah, I
If
don't know.
Mark can
I
get a
really
hole
don't
through his
know.
chest, why can't Oliver?
Because Mark was on the ground like for hours, just a hole in his chest, and he's on the ground for like. We'll get to the end of the issue.
Yeah, we'll talk
We'll get
about
to
this.
the end.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So Thragg does this weird thing and more or less comforts her. She goes, "Don't be afraid. It serves no purpose, and it's not going to save you. So don't bother crying." She's obviously still crying because she's 5, and he continues with, "What is taking these parents of yours so long anyway? Surely they..." And then they finally arrive with Thraggling 128 in Mark's hands, saying, "Hey, I got your kid. You got my daughter. Let's make a trade, or else I will snap this boy's neck." And then Thragg goes, "Your brother betrayed you. He was working for me, but he just couldn't let me kill you. That makes him useless to me. A traitor to his kind. Seeing him run in your family, it seems like it runs in your family, doesn't it?" And he calls him, "You're a hero. There's no way you're going to try to kill my son. Heroes don't do that." And then Mark looks at his son dead in the eye. I was like, yeah, being a hero is freaking bullshit. And just crunches on his neck, popping his head off like a cherry. And then throws his child at Thragg. Yeah. The absolute disrespect that Mark provides.
I kind of didn't catch that when I read it.
Eve, being the good mother, goes to check on her daughter first. She's like, "Oliver, he's," and Eve's like, "Yeah, I know. Don't even worry about it. Let's just focus on your leg right now." Mark and Thragg still fighting. Eve makes a impromptu cast from the material surrounding her, and then fucking Urasol comes in with the back kick to her spine, severing her and paralyzing her.
Dude,
Mark's like, "Eve, no!" And Thragg's like, "Yeah, you might want to keep an eye on me, pal. Yeah, I'm more of a big deal than you think." And then Mark's like, "No, screw you. I'm using the power of love." And then Terra's like, "Mommy, no!" And then Ursal is still beating her ass and punches her jaw off.
Yeah, kind of into oblivion.
Yeah. And
it's tough.
Yeah, and the reason why she's so extra is because her brother just died. And then after that, a very epic panel of Mark being ripped in half. There we go. Yeah. Ripped in half.
I felt like both these pages needed to be put at the same time because it's just like shit.
Yeah. And Ursula, in kill mode, is stopped by Thragg being like, "No, don't. I want them to die slow on this planet. We're done here. Come on, girl. Let's go." Then they leave. Terra's just left with her dying parents right in front of her.
And don't forget dead uncle.
And dead uncle. Yes. And then we go to Eve's finger. She starts to twitch. Terra goes, "Mommy?" And it looks like Eve is trying to say something. And then all of a sudden, a huge flash of pink light comes up, blinding Terra. And then, yo boys, the power couple is naked but alive. What?
You remember?
Yeah. Y'all forgot about how Eve got this bullshit power where she could just play a Uno reverse on death itself and come back to life whenever she wants. And then Terra, obviously overjoyed that her parents are alive. And then she makes a joke that she saw her parents' butt cheeks. Even though if I saw that, I'd be very mentally scarred. Forget all the other things of people dying.
Okay, honestly though, I think after seeing what she saw, seeing my parents naked but completely healed would be a relief.
Yeah, that would be
I disagree. But that being said, I don't want to see my parents naked, man. That's weird.
So you'd rather be surrounded by their
You'd rather have your mom you'd rather have your mom be like with her spine broken and her jaw turned to dust and your dad ripped in half and see them naked.
So anyway, Terra is pretty happy that her leg is back to normal. And Eve's like, "Yeah, I fixed it." Mark's wondering what happened. And then Eve reminding him about the continuity of her bullshit power and her mental blocks. It's like, yeah, I rebuilt us because why not? And Mark's like, did you make me stronger? And then Eve's like, yeah, I made all of us stronger. I figured, why not? Because, while I'm at it, might as well add some upgrades. Remember
That's
how
right.
remember when I made my boobs bigger back then? Yeah.
That was foreshadowing.
There you go. Then
Boobs are even way bigger now.
Yeah. Then Terra goes, hey, Mom, why didn't you fix Uncle Oliver? And then Eve's like, you can't fix death, baby doll. Sorry. He dead. And
It's true.
Yep.
You would have been able to heal him better if he wasn't a traitor.
Yeah, very true. Very true. So they take a moment of silence for the fallen Oliver. Then Mark goes, I'm sorry. I did this. I tried to turn my back on what needed to be done. It was selfish. But now we have to go back, Eve. We have to end this. And Eve's like, yeah, I know. If we hope to ever have our lives back for good, we have to fight. End of issue 132.
Also, I love her new costumes. I like their outfits.
Yeah, very nice. Very white and pure. Very white saviory.
Like they're reborn.
Yeah. There you go.
I mean, they did die, so I mean.
Mm-hmm. So, thoughts of the past two issues? It has come full circle for all of
I think the people in this comic need to learn when they should finish the job.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not just leave before.
Yeah,
well,
make sure things are dead.
Well, the thing is, with let's say throwbacks when Mark killed Angstrom, he didn't check. Did Mark just left? He did it on purpose. I did it on purpose because he wanted him to die slow. So we left with a point.
Yeah, but this thing is, your point of sending your people there was to make sure he was dead, and if you're just gonna leave one person alive, what's it just feels like a lot. It feels like you could have just killed him. It would have been easier.
Yeah. What movie was that from where it said you don't leave the kids alive because they're just gonna come back for revenge?
Kill Bill.
There you go. Yeah.
It's my favorite movie of all time, so that's why I know that.
Thragg should have watched Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just watch a Quentin Tarantino film. They teach you a lot.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah, but these two issues, it was very intense. It was very unsettling. The fact that just seeing Terra as a 5-year-old having to witness being in a very stressful situation and seeing both her parents not just kick ass, but inevitably fail and die right in front of her.
Yeah,
and as well as Oliver as well.
She took it surprisingly well. Literally, not even a minute after they revived, she was making jokes, being like, "Oh, I saw your butt, tee." Yeah. I would have been bawling my eyes out being a 5-year-old. Yeah, I thought you died.
Which I guess shows how much of her how strong she is at a young age, which I think is really nice.
Yeah. Or maybe she's just so mentally scarred at this point.
Yeah, she might be traumatized.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Demoan.
No, I was just agreeing.
Yeah, this is two issues where I totally forgot that what's his name? I keep saying QAnon. This is
QAnon.
Yeah, QAnon. I literally forgot
that. Christian, he's talking about Thragling 128.
Oh,
fuck you, dude.
Why didn't you just say that?
I literally forgot that Mark kills him. I was like, whoa, okay, because I also love the fact that because of last arc how Mark's he's not really a hero, or being a hero isn't really is kind of meaningless. That's why he's kind of I like that moment. He's comfortable a little bit, making that choice because what does it matter? I could have changed everything. I could have saved so many people, but I didn't. So I gotta look at that now, and this is how it's affecting me. So he's not Dark Mark that we saw in Invincible War, but he's
indifferent Mark.
He's a little different, But yeah, that was great. Oliver. Here's the thing, right? Oliver, man, I mean, I know because Christian's so happy that he was right.
Yes, finally the conversation. Is Oliver good or bad?
thing is, like, I don't know. The thing is, like, that's the thing, like with
Because technically, we're not done with Oliver yet. Technically,
what happened?
there's still technically an issue he's in.
Yeah, technically there's still an issue with it. He doesn't like come back to life, but it's just like I like if you think of Oliver when we first saw him from now, yeah, it comes full circle, but like I say Oliver's my favorite character, one of my favorite characters because like he's not a perfect dude. Like he's not. Like he's very flawed. He's very selfish at times. He's a dick, but like at the end of the day, because like the way he was raised, not just like being a Thraxan with his mom, but like with the Graysons and Mark, like he inevitably did the right thing. He died doing the right thing, even though he made a mistake. Like, so like that's what I'm saying. Like it's like with Rex, kind of like it's a very like he has issues, but then like he has a nice redemption. Even though his was a lot like quicker than Rex, obviously, but like again, like I just love like his arc was his life was a good arc. Like it was very interesting.
You know what?
It's true.
I think Oliver's probably one of my favorite characters. Yeah. Now that it's all over, now that I saw all of it, I like him. I like him.
Like
I was wrong about that purple bitch. Mark this down in history.
Yeah,
he was all right. That one I like him.
Listen, I'll write it down. That's wow. I never thought I'd ever hear you say that. But okay. But
he will be missed.
Yeah, it's a good arc. Yeah, it's fantastically written. Like we saw this kid grow up, literally grow up, just along with seeing Mark grow up, and it's just like he's not perfect. He's not a perfect character, and he's made mistakes, very big mistakes, but he's redeemed.
He has.
But at the end,
with the murder and the Scourge virus and all the other stuff,
he chose family, and Vin Diesel would be proud. That's great. But other than that, this 2 issues were really good. I love Eve's, her power. That power Christian hates. It's. I don't hate it. It's just bullshit.
I like the way it's written though, like because like people, if you read, people probably forgot about this. I kind of forgot about it when I first read the series, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot she could do that.
Yeah, I forgot.
You forgot, really?
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. It's really good. It's a good somber ending, but now we're like shit's gonna get real after this. So,
what's next, Mikey?
Oh God. Okay, so. Next, it's going to be volume 24. And that way, hold on. We got to do final thoughts on the whole arc. What the fuck, Matt? Don't rush me.
I thought we just did final thoughts on the whole arc.
That was the first 2. That was only for the last 2 issues. But yeah, whole arc, people. What do you think?
If I finally feel complete with Oliver.
Yeah.
I feel like me and him have been fighting for years.
And now you're finally putting him to rest.
Yeah, now that he's gone, I respect him.
Yeah.
Yes. He was like my adversary, like my mortal enemy. But now that he's gone,
I have a question then, Christian.
Consider him a friend.
I have a question then, Christian. Because I was actually thinking this while I was reading.
Mm-hmm.
Demoan, I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, because I don't really know if they touch on this or not. But like, do y'all think that like Oliver was maybe a double agent? Because the reason why I'm saying that is because
Mikey, I read that section.
Mikey. All right, Mikey, this is for the next episode.
It is.
Yeah. So don't even.
Okay, I'm not ready.
You.
Yeah. Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of reread all of Invincible, just straight through all of it ahead of schedule, and so I just remember some stuff.
Demoan, how could you do such a thing?
I'm sorry. I love the book.
Oh. But like, okay, I was because I just thought of it out of nowhere because that was probably just me just forgetting that even happened. But yeah. So that'll be touched on next episode. But yeah, this arc was good. Mark just trying to adjust, and them in Mark and Eve's relationship, how that's going forward. Eve moving, I think is great. Like it sucks, but like it makes sense. It's real life. Yeah, like, that happened to me. Like I would want my other to move on, and it just makes sense. The Thragg stuff is great. The twins is great. That stuff is I can't wait for that to pop off so well. Come on, pop off. Oliver's arc coming full circle again. It's great. It's like as good as Rex's in my opinion. Not better than Rex's, but it's almost as good. Yeah, everything's just great, man. Terra being Terra, I love her. I want her to be safe and protected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's some real good setup with Thragg going on. Thragg's being set up to be, I have to assume at this point, the final boss, the big bad of all.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding. When we got introduced to him way back, I said he's literally like the Thanos of Invincible. Like that's how big he is as a
Oh, you did say that, huh?
Yeah, I did. So it's foreshadowing. But
yeah.
So
I like the setup there, and I think that fight's gonna be pretty satisfying when Mark inevitably tears his throat out or whatever.
Oh Lord, you have no idea, Matt. But yeah, so that's all I say. It's really good, and it's very like penultimate type of arc because it's really it's the setup for like the end basically. So yeah, I enjoyed it. So any other final thoughts before we talk about what's going on next?
I think I've said my bit.
All right, cool.
I think it's good.
All right, cool. So so next episode, people, was episode 31. So again, only one more episode besides bonus episodes left. And that's going to be called, volume 24, and it is going to be covering 133 to 138. And yeah, I need a big ass drum roll for this because this is the
drum roll sounds.
All right. So this arc's volume is titled "The End of All Things, Part 1."
That's not a sitcom.
It's not. It's one of the only ones that aren't like events. But yeah, because it's an event. It's a 2-part event. That's literally what the end of the series is. A 2-part event.
Oh, okay.
So the end of all things, Part 1. Then the next one, the end of all things, Part 2. I can't wait. It's gonna be. I'm gonna be sad when we finish this. I'm not gonna lie because I'm just like shit.
Yeah, we're almost done.
We'll throw a party.
We'll throw a party. Yeah, we'll throw a party. But yeah, so we're gonna see where that goes. So yeah, so look out for that. Next up, well, we're gonna maybe do Science Dog sometime this week because it's a short episode, so it's not gonna take us that long. So we'll look out for that as well. But also, real quick before I say like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, leave all that shit. We're at 195 subscribers. People are almost at 200. I literally said I can graduate happy once we reach 200. We're almost there.
Wow.
So
you're hurrying back home. Log into your grandma's account, hack into whoever you can, and go on their Facebook. Subscribe for us. We only need 5. Kill a man if you have to. We don't care. We have no morals.
But yeah, we're almost there. I appreciate everyone who is subscribed to us. Really appreciate that you're enjoying our content, what we're doing. You know, we're a small channel, but I really appreciate it. We all really appreciate the support. But yeah, so look out for that. Christian, what's the second after? What's your question?
I got you. All right. Question of the day is what are your guys' theories of their character's favorite genre of music? For me, I think Nolan likes rock, classic rock.
Dad rock.
Dad rock. Yeah. And that Brit likes country. I also think that Oliver likes techno, and Mark likes pop music. Those are my theories.
Okay.
What's your guys' theories? Put it in the comments down below.
I think. Well, I'll say that I think Bulletproof just listens to just Childish Gambino, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Eve listens to R&B.
You see, I conversely think that Bulletproof is super pretentious about his music and only listens to old school rap.
Okay.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. That's hard fact. That and Black Samson.
I think Dolphin.
Black Samson listens to jazz, 100%.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you say, Matt?
I think Alan exclusively listens to dolphin noises.
I can believe that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely canon.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
But
what about Rex? Robot
Rex
Rex.
lives music.
I think
Doesn't listen to
Rex-
music.
he's too
sits
cool
to
for
listen-
music.
Yeah, he listens to white noise.
no, I think
Or
Rex
classical.
started off
Or
with heavy
classical.
metal.
Ooh,
I think he
classical,
started off
yeah.
with heavy metal when he was working for the
Yeah,
government.
I think it was.
No. He listens to K-pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, but if any other characters people have in mind, put them down. What type of music think they listen to? That's a good question. That's a good question.
Thank you. Mhm.
Yeah, so we're gonna end it up here, people. Again, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Look out tomorrow. We're doing our review for Black Widow, so look out for that tomorrow. And yeah, if you haven't watched our other videos, come on, we're on 31 episodes.
We're done.
Watch
We
our
got no new stuff besides the next episode.
Watch your What are you doing? Don't just watch the Invincible War one. I'll put the playlist over here. Just watch them all.
Yeah,
It's good
listen.
stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll catch y'all later. All right, get home safe.
Bye-bye.
Get on stage.
Bye.